Hey gang, welcome back to another tutorial. So today what I'm going to be doing is taking over a little introduction to applying physics in 3ds Max. So the way that I want to represent this is I want to apply some gravity to some objects and then have it colliding with some others. So it's a bit of a cool little exercise. So to start us off, in 3ds Max, I'm going to create a spline. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to create a little ellipses. So what you then need to do is you need to use Tyflow, the all-powerful god of 3ds Max, and open up the editor. So despite the fact that we've created a spline, what we need to do is we also need to birth a spline. And what we need to do is pick it and apply it to the spline that we've got there. So you can see that it's now started to create these points along that spline, which you can increase or decrease on the percentage. So that's sort of how spread out they've been generated. So what we want to do then is we need to add a shape, and for the purpose of this, similar to the other tutorial, you go down and do 3D, and I'm going to use maybe like a low-res sphere, and let's also just quickly update our display to the geometry, so that way you can start seeing these bits and pieces. So with the shapes, maybe we change their, so if you update their frequency, scale to increase their size, maybe some nice large ones. Yeah, perfect. All right, so now that we've got the shapes that we want to use, you need to start adding some physics. So what you need to do is, if you scroll across, generally in like the blue and purple is where you'll find physics. So we're going to add some physics shapes to that one. And yeah, so now that that's ready to go, what you can do is, just getting my settings ready. All right, so now that we've turned it into a physics shape, what we need to do is start adding its collision. So what it is that we want it to be colliding with. So if you go back to this one, and let's maybe make a box. All right, so if we make this box here, so if you go across, you go physics collision, add that in, pick object. So for the moment, I'm going to click the box, and you can see how it's sort of starting to interact with it now. So if you've done this correctly, if we press play, you'll see that the objects that we've created along the spline are now interacting with our geometries. It does work on the base plane, so you could see here before that if I go below it, they're sort of just going to drop and sit. So if you are doing it, just work above the plane. There's a bunch of really cool little exercises you can do once you start exploring physics, but to get you started, I think this is a really good little starting place, just so you guys can understand and have a play. And also, if you change the shape of what it is you're working with as well, you can also get some interesting little physics reactions. So, Tyflow. And I'm going to reset this one to something else. Yeah, so you can see how it's gone and now reacted to the new object that we've placed in. Guys, physics in 3ds Max is a really interesting feature and really does make it a powerful modeling tool. So I do suggest taking the time to explore it properly. And Tyflow, again, coming in with the goods. Hours and hours worth of playing. Sort of not too dissimilar to Grasshopper once you start getting the hand of things, how to sort of build these, let's call them scripts up, and then to start applying them to features is a really powerful tool, and I think you'll learn it a little bit quicker than you realize. So guys, this reaches the end of our tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Don't just sit there. Hit like and subscribe.